Dear students, welcome to the sixth semester. I am Dr. Sunil Wesley, the head of the department of Mechanical Engineering in Government Polytechnic, Jalgaon. I invite you all to this course. I am going to teach you this course, which is IEQ, that is Industrial Engineering and Quality Control. Now this course has the course code as 22657, and in our syllabus we see um, the course outcomes or COs to apply work study techniques to optimize manufacturing processes, prepare the detailed sequence of operations for manufacturing components, apply ergonomic principles for designing simple mechanical components, to interpret the data obtained from different quality control processes, to interpret control charts for variable and attribute data. So this is the competency that we are aiming at when you complete this course. Okay, now we come to the teaching scheme and examination scheme. 3 hours per week lectures, no tutorials, and practicals 2 hours. So totally 3 plus 2, totally 5 credits are there. So in this subject you will get 5 credits, and your final exam, if offline you are going to write, it will be for 3 hours, and the end semester exam will be for 70 marks, out of which pass marks are 28, that is 40% of it. Then progressive assessment, maximum marks 30, and in this 30, 10 marks are for your micro project and 20 marks are for your class tests. This is the average of 2 class tests we take. So totally under the theory component, that is end semester exam plus progressive assessment, we have a total of 100 marks, and passing is 40. Okay, then the practical component, we have end semester exam of 25 marks, and a minimum 10 marks you should get it. And in the progressive assessment, that is for the for the manual that you fill and submit, for that you will have 25 marks totally. So for practical you are having 50 marks. So this subject or this course has a total of 150 marks. So this end semester exam, here it shows hash, that means this will have an oral exam conducted by the internal examiner. There won't be any external examiner for this. Okay, now when we come to the distribution of the marks according to the chapters, work study, this first chapter will have a total of 12 marks. Second chapter, process engineering, will have 12 marks. Third chapter, ergonomics, will have 12 marks. Fourth chapter, quality control and inspection, will have 16 marks. And statistical quality control, the fifth chapter, will have 18 marks. So totally there will be 70 marks for this. So there are how many chapters now, or you call it chapters or units? So how many units are there? There are 5 units. Okay, so and these are the number of hours that we are going to take. So a total of 48 hours are required for covering this course or this subject. Now let us see the first unit, the unit 1. This unit's title is work study. Work study consists of method study and work measurement. Okay, and the topics that we are going to see in this are, you see, the industrial engineering definition, industrial engineering, work study, method study, the recording techniques, and work measurement. So these are the 5 subtopics that we will see in this chapter. Okay, work study. This consists of two things: method study and work measurement. Sometimes work measurement is called as time study also. So work study consists of method study and time study. Okay, this is studied as a part of industrial engineering. Now first let us see what is industrial engineering. You see, here some definitions are given. You see, actually industrial engineering also can be considered as a sub branch of mechanical engineering. Some people do bachelor of engineering in industrial engineering. Some people even may do industrial engineering in masters also. Okay, so this industrial engineering, if a person is studying, mostly they will be in the industry, in the shop floor. These people will be required to work. Okay, so now let us see the definition. What is industrial engineering? Industrial engineering is a branch of engineering that is concerned with the improvements in the system to do things in a better way, simplified way, and organized way. This is a simple definition. It is concerned with the improvement in the system to do things in a better, simplified, and organized way. You see, if a work is given, if a person is doing for the first time, he may commit many mistakes. He may not be able to do it as quickly as a person who is well accustomed to doing it, or who is doing for a number of days. Okay, see, every work that is given to say an employee, a worker, we can study that and we can try to improve the things. Okay, so this improvement is the thing. What for? Ultimately what we want to do is, we want to do things efficiently. Okay, so this branch of engineering, which is concerned with the improvement in the systems to do things in a better, simplified, and organized way, is called as industrial engineering. Okay, so for this, what they do, they identify some areas which are facing some problems, and then they will try to find solutions to solve those problems. Okay, that is one definition of industrial engineering. Another definition is, it is that branch of engineering which is concerned with the designing and managing systems to make the best use of industrial resources such as workers, materials, equipment, and information. See, this, according to this definition, these are the resources that we use in industries. You see, our workers, the materials that we use, whether it is raw materials or supplies or whatever, the equipment, the machines and other things, and the information, data and other things. So these are the resources that a person has at his disposal in the industry. Okay, so this branch of engineering is concerned with, you have to design systems and manage systems which will make the best use of those resources. How best use of worker can be done? The least number of workers or man hours, required to complete one job. Okay, that is what you have to find out through industrial engineering. How you will apply to materials? You see, with the same number of same amount of raw materials, you should be able to manufacture more products. This is what your industrial engineering should be able to do. And with equipment, how you'll do industrial engineering? Say with the same machines or tools, you are able to produce more number of parts. Okay, or uh, for the stipulated time, in suppose an 8-hour shift, you are producing more number of parts. How? Because of the way improvements that are made through industrial engineering. And then information, you see, whatever data you are having, you see, all the measurements or the readings and whatever you take for that components. Okay, making use of those things to improve uh, the efficiency or the productivity. Now you may wonder, what is productivity? You see, in industrial engineering, productivity is the important thing. Here mostly we won't be talking about efficiency. Efficiency may be concerned with machines and other things, but when we come to industrial engineering, we'll be talking about productivity. So the main goal will be to improve the productivity. What is productivity? What is the definition and other things? You will see later. Okay. Then there are many definitions here, so I don't think we should be going through all these definitions. 2 definitions are enough. Okay, next let us come to the need of industrial engineering. An industrial engineer is needed to perform the following activities in an organization. If you are working as an industrial engineer in a company, in a factory, what are you expected to do? You see, you are expected to design systems for easy flow of material within the manufacturing plants. Suppose your material is flowing from one workstation to another workstation, from one machine to another machine, or one shed to another shed, or one manufacturing plant to another manufacturing plant. You have to design system that the material flows easily, without obstructions, without going through roundabout route, without taking a lot of time. Okay, so you have to design that system. Okay, that is one way. This is one of the activities. Okay, another activity can be to prepare systems that will evaluate job performance and subsequently productivity of the organization. You see, job performance of a worker, this you can evaluate. You will be able to say this person is a skilled worker, this person is a semi-skilled worker, or this person is an unskilled worker, by evaluating the job performance of their job. Okay, so you should be able to prepare systems which will evaluate the job performance of the workers, and subsequently the productivity of the organization. You should be able to evaluate. Okay, you should prepare systems that will evaluate. Now this is another activity. Okay, the third activity can be to design proper working conditions and a proper financial return system for workers. You see, the working conditions, for whom the working conditions are required, for the workers who are working there, proper working conditions, safe and hygienic working conditions are required. That you have to provide for them, and you have to provide financial return system. That means what? You have to provide them wages, salaries for the workers. So how to pay the wages and salaries, to whom to pay more and to whom to pay less, that also you should be able to design a system which will tell you how much a person should be paid, how much a worker should be paid. Then another activity of an industrial engineer can be to enact quality control procedures. to resolve production problems or to minimize costs. You see, now you have produced a part, you have manufactured it or you have fabricated it. Okay, you have machined it or fabricated it. Now you have to see how the quality is. Now you have to, what quality procedure you will adopt to evaluate that the quality of the product. Okay, see, once you are making something, if you are making a motorcycle or something, you don't want it to be failing on the road. If you have the reputation that your bikes are failing on the road, nobody will buy it. Okay, so your quality should be good. Okay, it should be not only breaking down, even otherwise the other quality parameters also should be good, so that you will have the so that you will have this what you will develop the brand value, and you will develop uh, you will be able to brand following you will be able to develop. Okay, and then whatever, to resolve the production problems, if any problem comes, how to resolve it, and how to minimize the costs, whether wastage of raw materials or supplies, all these things. So these things come under an industrial engineer. See, industrial engineer is not directly involved in the production of anything or in manufacturing or machining of any component. Okay, see, industrial engineer is concerned with these things that are required, which will not be concerned with the production or manufacturing. Okay, see, if you are producing something, if you are working on the shop floor for producing the things, then you can be called as production engineer. You will not be called industrial engineer. Industrial engineering is concerned with the improvement of the systems so that the productivity will increase, if you want to tell in a broad way. Okay, now let us see the objectives of industrial engineering. The objectives of industrial engineering are, say here some 6 objectives are given. Yeah, say, define proper work methods, use quality tools and data to anticipate and solve issues in engineering process, perform root cause analysis to improve poor performing processes. That means you should be able to find out what is the root cause. If something is going wrong, some component is is getting manufactured properly, so what is the root cause? You have to do analysis. You have to frame a policy to give proper incentives to workers. This we already seen, how to pay a worker, how much to pay. If he is a skilled worker, we can pay more. Okay, if he's a semi-skilled person, lesser than the skilled person, and if he's an unskilled person, we will pay the least. Okay, like that. To ensure human factors engineering is implemented on shop floor for better working conditions. Human factors engineering, like we were working conditions and other things, working environment, whatever is concerned with the human factor means workers, concerned with the workers, their safety and their well-being. Okay, their living conditions or working conditions, these things you have to attend to. Okay, see, for better working conditions, these things you have to implement. Okay, then to apply financial engineering to reduce losses and to increase profit of the organization. See, losses in terms of man hours, machine hours, or wastage of raw materials, wastage of supplies, all those things, you should be able to reduce, and to increase the profit of the organization will be, see, one of the important goals for a person. So these are the objectives of an industrial engineer. Okay, now next let us come to the scope of industrial engineering. Okay, the scope of industrial engineering, yeah, it covers the objectives mentioned above, apart from the ones mentioned below. See, to ensuring the product quality, delivery dates, and the costs are maintained. To determine capacity requirements. Capacity requirements means, how much one machine, how many parts it can manufacture. You see, you have to determine it. If you take a lathe machine and if you're doing one, some brake shoe or something, you are machining on that. So how many brake shoes per 8-hour shift you will be able to produce. So to determine that, that can be called as determining the capacity requirement of the machine. Okay, and subsequent investment options. Suppose you're having less number of machines and you have to you have to buy, like you have to invest in machines and other things, so that determination also comes under industrial engineering. To develop proposals for new projects. Suppose your what workplace layout is not sufficient, your machines are not sufficient, or your shop floor is not sufficient, your machines are not sufficient, then you may have to expansion or setting up of new plant altogether. These things, the development of those proposals for the new projects also comes under industrial engineering. To develop long range planning models. Long range means like 5 to 10 years. You see, after 5 years, after 10 years, what we are having in mind, what will be our goal. So how much, how we should plan, capacity, what we should say, extension, or something like that. Okay, so to develop long range planning also comes under industrial engineering. And then to develop budgets and forecasts for operating costs. Operating cost means, see, the for operating machines and plant equipment and other things. This is, see, some of the things are initial investment, like land. Once you purchase machines, big machines, you purchase once. Okay, that's initial investment. Afterwards, you have to run it on a daily basis, so those come under operating costs. Okay, so you should forecast means, for next week how much we require, next month how much you require, for next whole year how much money will be required. You see, telling now is forecasting. So for the month of April we need so much money, for the month of May we need so much money for the operating. You see, to give a figure, rough figure, that is called forecasting of the operating costs. And also you have to prepare budgets. You see, how much budget you should be able to allocate, or you may not be the person who will be allocating, the finance department may be allocating, but you should be able to put proposals before the finance department saying that for this purpose we need so much money, okay, for the operation of the plant and other things. Okay friends, today we'll stop here and we will continue tomorrow.